What's up, guys? This is Darklink121 here. It has been a while, and to talk about more why I haven't really been posting a lot. Well, I am going to be wanting to post gaming videos and like art. I want to talk more about why I want to do it and why the Coppa laws scare me as a small YouTuber with only 13 subscribers. The Coppa law stuff scares me greatly because they can fine you 42K per video, and I have only 80 videos so far on the channel. And let me get this one thing straight. I've always never intended, straight from the beginning, never intended to specifically target children in my audience. Never. Simply because I always thought, from the perspective of an uncle, that I would not want people targeting my children for specific things. Let alone not specific things. But from my point of view, I'd rather have...
Power off.
Yeah, cool. But I would rather have... sorry. What I said that cool about earlier was the Bluetooth speaker had powered off. Not to get on the bad side of the FTC, but basically in a nutshell, video games and art have always been my passions. They've always been something that I've loved and enjoyed so much, like even games in general, like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game or Magic the Gathering. And I've loved making art ever since I was a little kid. But with my channel, I always thought, from the thinking of as an adult and as an uncle, I would rather have my niece and nephew see things that are more appropriate for their age in ads, rather than, like, say, something not appropriate for kids in ads. And even still, something like that, children should always ask their parents' permission for. And that permission being consent of the parent. And I would not condone any unsafe transactions. But with my channel, my focus has always been to inspire and to entertain, and to show people how I play games and how games impact me. And sure, I like to do the walkthrough / improv kind of Let's Play style, or like the how to draw kind of stuff. But you know, all I can do is open the door for creativity to flow or to inspire. My viewers are what all I ask of them is to join me on an adventure through art and gaming. Now, sure, I was cleared by YouTube for monetization in the past, but that didn't last long, simply because I couldn't keep the requirements up. And what with like 4,000 plus hours of watch time within the last 12 months, and 1,000 subscribers being the ceiling, the minimum requirements to get monetized, let alone, I don't even know what the verification process is going to be now. And what with all that, with like YouTube deleting any and all content that doesn't make them money, I feel like I might be screwed either way. And all I want is to get myself out there as an artist and as a video game player myself as an adult, to inspire and entertain people and inspire them to chase their goals and their dreams that they have set. Not to change them like a pansy little bitch in like some office desk. I don't want to settle. I want to reach my goals rather than going back on my words and like making shallow and hollow my goals and my dreams. Sure, I get that for monetary purposes you need to find ways of making money that would work, but never shelf your if you never shelf your dreams and always chase after them no matter what, you'll eventually get to them. But with FTC finding YouTube and then going after the content creators, what that's doing is that's taking away people's dreams and their livelihood and their ability to make money and affecting their lives by harming their ad revenue and their content. I get that they're upholding the law and they're upholding the Coppa rules for the protection of children, but in my view, that can also harm industries such as game developers, or like industries that developers that make things like the Play School toys for kids. And all these things just make me so upset, but I understand that the safety of children is to help parents keep their children safe. But you gotta think about people's lives, because if you're willing to find people fines that they cannot afford, then that is clearly showing that your heart and mind is not in the right place, and you're just wanting to grab money just for the sake of grabbing money, and despite having the sake of for the children in mind. And I'm not trying to make an enemy of the FTC. Let me make that 100% certain right here and now. I cannot afford to sue them, and I cannot risk their fines. But what I am saying is simply to say that the Coppa laws definitely need to be revised to be more friendly to both producers and consumers in the sake of both children and family. There needs to be a balance. Because it was my dream, straight from being in freshman year of high school, to be my own boss. And to chase the right ways to go about it. And I honestly thought YouTube was the right way to go about it, because I grew up being inspired by the likes of Markiplier, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Mark Crilley, and like several others, and I thought that I can at least make a decent paycheck through YouTube if I could do this. But it wasn't just for the money, it was for the community. It was for the connection. That's the other thing I always wanted, was the connection. I'm not gonna lie, I do have problems like my autism, for example, but I do not let that stand in my way. And I try not to let my temper stand in my way. But at the same time, I have a strong sense of right and wrong. And I do not justify reacting out of anger. But things get frustrating, and it feels like those 42K fines could literally take people's lives, their very jobs from them. Their career paths. I get that you're supposed to stay on the right side of the law or whatever, but how do you know what the right side of the law is if the laws are incredibly vague and generalized? That's being around the bush and using out-of-date terms. You know, I want to make what I've been chasing a reality, which is why I created an amino for my channel. My channel started out as Little Grin of War, which was for the sake of generalized gameplay and art, and to create inspiring things. And sure, I would likely have played games like Call of Duty or Halo, but I introspectively kept on thinking and thinking and looked at my channel from the outside point of view, trying to see what it would be like for a viewer to see my channel, and I felt I had changed my channel name because I had felt that Little Gun of War wasn't very viewer friendly, so I changed it to Overpowered Gaming. Until Overpowered Gaming I realized was too generic, and I wanted to basically make a name that wasn't generic, but it was unique and tailored to the channel in a way that I could get myself out there, but would be viewer friendly regardless of age. But that wasn't to say that I was trying to target children, no. I would not condone targeting children specifically as an audience. Not for the purposes of making money. But to make money, I had sought to make my audience targeting teens and up. And the big problems I face with that is being able to communicate with people about things, because on a normal day-to-day basis, I know I sound so monotonous and it gets on my nerves. And unless I'm really, really passionate about it and really energized at that point in time, my emotions are not going to come through easily. And I honestly don't know how to Twitch stream, otherwise I'd be doing that. I don't want to be flipping burgers or behind a desk or fighting wars. I respect soldiers, but I want a job that's right for me, where I can be able to pursue my dreams and make money. I don't want to wait forever in some old-fashioned, slow-paying job. But I don't want to do things that aren't necessarily way too risky for me. And this video, to circle back to the FTC thing, it makes me scared because it feels like that dream is threatened to be taken away for something I was intentionally or unintentionally, for that matter, trying to be a part of. I just love games and art. And I'm on a freaking Social Security pay per month. Why would I go out of my way to target children, Why would anyone? Even the likes of, Masayanilla, Lucagen, Manga Mink slash, the, Two Lesbians Play. Every single one of them, even, authors like Neil Gaiman, for example, Piers Anthony, or Terry Brooks, for example. All of them have inspired me, even if only indirectly. And I want to give back for that inspiration, but through my actions and through my content. I've wanted to be as a positive influencer. But I do not want to be fined $42K just because my content can be generalized as for children. Because if I cannot connect with the community just because my content is appealing for children, then what kind of world is it this? Because there's no reason we should be relying on things like harmful things like coal and being stuck in a single-minded mindset where it's my way or the highway. I mean, sure, it's one thing to be set in your ways in the sense that you're not going to change for anyone because you're yourself. But don't force your ideologies on other people. That's something I've never condoned. I've always hated that. It always felt like when people feel they have to shove things down other people's throat to have their way, that is not the right way to go about things. Because you cannot control people. It's why, even from when I was a little kid back in elementary school up in Pennsylvania, and Brockway, the mock elections that the children were doing for like back when Barack Obama was running against McCain. You know, just things like that just felt awkward and wrong. But then again, that's probably due to my ideals and morals. And I will not hold other people to my standards. At least not more than I hold myself. Because I always hold myself to the highest standards that I put. And in the past I had put more pressure on myself than anyone around me. And that nearly broke me and sent me on a tailspin. Because I was dumb and I had fallen in love, and love can make people do crazy things. And the 3 years worth of time that I spent recovering from that tailspin molded me into the person I am today. Because each experience that I've experienced in the past, I've drawn upon to make better decisions. And, you know, in between the new regulation changes YouTube was making before the FTC fine and all that stuff, you know, all that together just feels like it's not friendly for new users. But I am familiar to this platform. And if you see my screen shaking, it's probably because my phone is shaking in my hands, because that's how passionate and emotional I am about this kind of stuff. And it's always a struggle to put out there. Like, I've even considered doing, like, pulls from booster packs for, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I wanted to entertain and to just enjoy. Like, so what? I like things like puzzles and art and games and stories. What's wrong about that? So what if I'm an adult? I enjoy what I enjoy. Because I'm me, and no one else. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong about being me and liking what I like. And that's something that not even the FTC can take away. And I just like to share my experiences because I grew up sharing with like 3 other siblings, and I have a total of 3 half-siblings, 2 full-blooded biological siblings, and 2 stepbrothers. But despite all of that, I see them all as equal siblings and related to me. That's how I've always seen them. I'm probably rambling at this point, but, you know, I just want to make an honest living being my own boss and doing what I enjoy. No clickbait, no scams, no nothing like that. Just an honest living, making content and sharing my experiences. And doing things preferably that I enjoy, like playing video games or making art. That's seriously all I wanted to do. Even if, like, writing my own stories. Like, there's this series I had been working on since I was a kid. In, like, 5th or 6th grade. Granted, it started out as a fan fiction and turned into its own work, being cut and edited and modified again and again. But the struggle that I had with that is writing from another perspective, regardless of gender. Well, I've got all these things off my chest without. I don't know whether or not to go into specifics, but I don't really know the whole details of the laws. All I know is I've always kept myself, other people, and my country in mind and consideration, and I'm sure I've had misgivings about things. But, you know, all I want is what's best. This is Darklink 121. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, bye-bye.